Ma'am, for the record lang po, yung full name po ninyo at ano po yung engagement niyo sa yung ginagawa niyo?
Sa ngayon? My full name, Aida F. Santos, and also known as Aida Santos Marangan, which is my married name. I was married to Ed Marangan, it's a writer, political science, professor at MIT. Then he was seconded to DFA, so he served in the diplomatic service for a long time. Anyway, what do I do? I went to UP in 68 and I was the first office. What do I do now? I work in this as a volunteer for this organization, which is now a women's. We used to be an NGO in that, structural NGO. Now we've changed it and we become a women's collective, meaning people volunteer their time and their money if they can to do projects. Tapos, yun. I think we've taken hold of the fact that there's a new technology where people just email each other. They're heading to the art. Si cognizant of the fact na scarce resources for NGOs and civil society groups, and also because there's a technology in there. So that's my volunteer work. I do other volunteer work for various women's organizations. I'm a member of Amnesty International. I'm the secretariat coordinator of the Philippine Women's Network for Peace and Security, which is not yet known. But we've been here for a long time, mga 5 years more. But our focus is on anti-militarization in general. Medyo mahirap siya mag-take off the ground para sa mga tawa at ang bakit. Our focus is to do a big research on the impact of militarization focus on women and community. So, yan yung ginagawa namin. So, for my fish and rice, I do independent consultancy. So, I do consultancy work on gender today. Human rights. I used to teach. The master's program in same school on women's studies. So I used to teach development, and youth, sexuality, women's sexuality, etc. Pero I've taken a look for a while. So that's what I do. What do I do? I write on the side. I still write. I conduct on and off basis yung writing workshop for younger women. So mostly I do mentoring na on writing, research. I suppose most of my generation are into that na parang independent work. At the same time, parang doing mentoring, a lot of mentoring. Kasi syempre, handa na kami. So a number of us are on the track na. Tapos, feeling ko, this is the time for younger generation to really come out and create their niche and define them. So, yung maganda itong project ko in the sense that maybe it's high time to finally document. Although I must tell you, a lot of people would like to write about Mendiola and all that it stands for. Pero I think one of the problem is, it feels like it's too soon. Parang lagi pa rin yan. Kasi whatever you say, 68, 60s, parang kailan lang siya. For us anyway, parang ang dami siya. Tapos maraming truth and untruth na you have to cover, di ba? So it's like retelling histories, di ba? Medyo hirap din yun, the psychological level. So I think when younger people undertake projects, mas maganda yun kasi may distance kayo in that sense. And you can look at it more parang hindi naman objective, there's no such thing as objective, pero with clearer eyes, kasi kami masyado immersive, even as we say, how many decades ago na yan, in Mendiola or Postcards. So, parang ang lapit eh. So, let's say, kung ang timeline to 68, I went to 68 to 8 how many decades ago, pero parang ang lapit sa atin. So, I think this attempt of yours to, I don't know what kind of documentation you get, is very timely, namamatay na rin. Marami nang namatay actually. Hindi na kwento ang kanilang story. I'm doing a research, pero kasi unfunded siya. I'm actually doing a history of the women's movement. I hate to say that kasi baka naman justification. But I'm trying to document na mga thoughts, experiences ng Makibaka. The former original Makibaka members. A number of them are still alive, around. So I've done a series of interviews. At some point, I want to, pero you need resources for that, but I want to contribute to that literature na hindi nasusulat. Kasi marami din susulat. Yung only parang oral literature lahat, no? Ang dami-dami din susulat. And I think pag nasulat yan, marami talagang setting the record straight, so to speak. Para, ano talaga nangyari? Kasi I think either people don't want to tell the stories, or people would like to rather forget the stories, or people interpret the stories differently. Siyempre, ang dami mo sa akin ang ginagawa ko. Yun ang ginagawa ko. So I'm trying to do all this parang as personal projects.
Nung going back to 1968, yun ba yung unang saan po kayo galing before you entered?
Well, I graduated from FEU Girls High. I knew that in FEU, earlier before me was Maria Loberena Barros. Already, Lori Barros, who co-founded, hindi lang naman siyang founder ng Makibaka, actually, there were a number of them. But Lori was already a kind of a legend in the high school.
Sa high school.
And then, the boys side, hiwala yan although it's secular school. The other side would be the likes of Monica Ochoa, who died recently. Barkada yan, no? Sila nila, si Monica Nick, and a whole host of them, galing yan sa FEU Girls High. And these were the people, in a way, who were the first activists when I entered UP. No, nandiyan na sila, pumasok na ko nandiyan na sila. So in fact, parang ang rootedness namin, although of course, Monica Nick is now dead, pero maganda sana yung situation. We were all there pala. I mean, sa FEU Girls High and FEU Boys High, may barkada siya, may barkada si Lori. Then I was there, I was in a younger year, and then when I entered UP, nandun na sila, and they were the founders of Kabataan ng Bayan. Later on, some SDK, sa Pamilya Project ng Kabataan, and then of course, Makibaka. So when I entered, talagang 68 was, parang, yung peak na ito before martial law. But when I entered UP, I had lots of friends who were much older than me. I mean, not much, but much older than me, who were already involved in Veteran Russell Foundation. Yung mga progressive nationalists, So when I entered UP, talaga may rush of activism na, pero you can't escape it. It's there, It's so vibrant. It's so, parang, I used to say, and I still say na, kung ikaw ay nag-iisip na estudyante, kasi hindi ka mag-activist parang you would have been so stupid anyway, or so callous na hindi ka ma-involved, because it's just all over, As I said, 68 was parang palapit na yung palapit, and then a few years after would be habeas corpus, and then, so parang I was caught in the eye of the storm, so to speak, Yung first part was kumintagay pa lang ito.
Since nag-aral kayo sa FEU, so you know the place, yung Mendiola.
Oh, yeah.
Pero nung high school kayo, ano siya? I mean,
sa akin, rally.
May nagrarally na rin.
Maraming dumadaan, masususpend ng klase, of course, naalala ko din yung baha, yung traffic. Maraming rally talaga. Tapos I remember, close yung, kasi private school siya, close ng guards yung gate, kasi alam mo na rally. Pero, when you're high school, I suppose, peripheral vision yun, kumbaga, You're very focused on graduating, and fourth year na ako nun, yung 68, 67, ganyan. Third year, fourth year, I suppose, iba talaga yung adolescent years, Pero I was already mindful of the fact na madalas kakansel yung klase, mayroong nagrarally, puro nakapula, but I was not completely parang adolescent focused because my older brother, older by 2 years of me, sa PUP, which was called PCC then, Philippine College of Commerce, which is now PUP. And PCC was the bulwark of of activism at the point, together with the, ito yung hindi masyado, ano, kasi parang api-api ko siya at the time, anyway. Maliit lang kami, yung mga batches namin doon. Pero yung UE, yung tinatawag na, ano yun, ano tawag yung belt? Student belt, no, yan. So, nakikita ko yan, pero hindi ko siya na-feel masyado sa FEU. Although, yun nga, when recently we were talking na nandun na pala sila Monifo, nandun pala sila Lonso po, the Tayags, no? Kasi medyo wala yun medyo, masyadong, kung maating FEU, nakiwalay pala nun, kuning-kuning, hindi na kami Kristiyanong, we're the Catholics ko. Pero tingin ko, meron nangyayari doon. Ang alam ko lang talaga, may maraming rally, no? Tapos, siyempre, when you're young, like, that time, ang naisip mo na lagi yung na-traffic.
Pero, yung mga
inconveniences. Pero at the same time, I had a sense of what was going on. Kasi yung kapatid ko, aktivista siya. No? Aktivista siya. So, when I entered college, yung kuya ko, aktivista na siya sa PCC, which is PUP na.
So kayo naman nasa UP na?
Ako nasa UP yan.
Did you formally join an organization?
Yeah, I did. Not KM, writer's group. Kasi talagang, I was an English major, so drawn ako to writing. So there was, I wasn't interested kasi, noon kasi, in my generation, ang dalawa lang ang pathway mo. Either, kung babae ka, sorority ka. Kaya lalaki ka. And the other is natitibang ka, pinista. Some people combine both. No? Although sa recollection ko, ayaw ko ng fraternity, ayaw ko ng sorority kasi panay ang away. Panay ang bugbugan, rambot. No? So I didn't like that. I called them barbaric organizations. So hindi ako attracted. Attracted ako doon sa activism, but I also didn't like to join KM, SBK, although I have lots of friends. I think it was remember, where I was, Department of English, was where people like Joma graduated. English Joma, Bobby Mala, who else from it's such an elite, at that point, the Department of English was such an elite group. Kukunti lang yan Tapos may history kami, syempre, alam namin yung mga, kasi ilan naman talagang mag-graduate na English mga. So, alam mo kung sino yung mga dumaan, kung bakit. So, meron kaming sense nun. And I think to a large degree, meron kaming sense of elitism din. Yung elitism in the sense of being English majors, na learned kami, gano'n. But we also had, I had, for my professor, si Lasio Gonel, Dolores Feria, who is now dead, she was a member of the Communist Party, of course, Mila Aguilar, who teaches now, but she's also a member of the So marami kami parang, so drawn ako doon to that kind of history na mga intellectual, yung graduate, yung dumaan doon, tapos yung nagala sa Joma. And then there was a time that Paksa, which I don't know if you've heard about it, panulat para sa kapakanan ng sambayan ng Paksa, which was a very progressive organization of all writers. Parang, you name it, nandun yun. Dian Lera, name it. So I was part of that.
UP lang ba ito?
Well, no, hindi siya UP. Although based siya sa UP. Pero nandun, namin sila Roger Mangas, sila Bayani. Marami talaga kami. And they covered, emerging writers like us, or students, and established writers. Paksa was, when martial law was declared, it was banned. It was declared subversive. So let it disband.
Ano yung primary activities ng
Paksa is to create literature for the masses. Is to assist in the national democratic revolution. Writers and artists. Our role as writers and artists is to not be in the ivory tower, but to serve the masses. And all the things we should do, or we did at that point, is to serve the masses, to propagate the idea of socialism, of Mao Zedong, and Marx. we created pieces that was meant to not only raise awareness but agitate. It's agitational propaganda. Nag-workshop kami pero nag-workshop kami for so mayroon din kami parang mga training ground for people who want to do this. How do you say this? Was I part of workshop? But I was doing nothing rather than, example ng ginagawa. Well, hindi ko naman recall kung officially. You see, when I'm speaking of this, I'm talking to personalities already involved underground. And I was above ground as well, no? So I was a member of the party. Hindi pa ba ngayon yung nagsasabi ng kayo?
Hindi. So, bigyan lang.
Ang communist party. Hindi, si Pipi. Hindi, si Pipi of the old. Si Pipi, no. Di ba bahala kayo?
Pero by that time, through the writers group, na talagang part mo, kaya na-involved sa policy.
So, I used to do research on, let's say, lives of workers. Susulatin namin yan para gawin kong proyekto, pang-raise ng awareness. Halimbawa, one of the persons that I did research on with eventually my husband, who was Lisa Balando, who was killed in the picket line, taga Samar, ganun. So, I used to do that. I used to stay in headquarters of workers to help them write those statements, turuan sila magsulat ng mga tula, turuan sila magsulat ng, o kung susulat sila, ayusin yung short story. Kasi may tingin talaga doon ang anumang gawaing pangkultura, pangliteratura, ay dapat nagsisilbi para sa kapakanan sa pera. So, we encourage, of course, workers to write their stories kasi istorya ito ng kanilang. So, ang home namin, supposedly kami yung may technical skills. It's to help them, no? Ayusin yung mga that's part of that. But the other part of it is joining mass mobilizations. At saka also participating in mga theater, no? The theater tradition then was very much patterned after the theater in China. Kita mo ba yung ganyan, no? So of course, marunong kami sa magandang production. Certain script, whatever, no? So, varied work, but really, Paksa was, like a writer's humor, where the goal was to ensure that people who would join would make their products, cultural and literary products, serve the revolution. I mean, of course, we don't call it the revolution above ground, but serve the national democratic movement. Pero marami sa amin involved na underground.
Doon sa mass mobilization sa akin, naalala niyo yung first time na mag-rally sa mga
Hindi ko alala exactly when, but
ano yung impressions?
I think one of the things that really politicized me is sumama ako sa rally. Tapos, ano tawag doon? Patuta. Siyempre, nanonood ko kasi gusto yung miniskirt.
Yung nag-rally ka naman?
Naka-miniskirt ko naman, siyempre. Pasyonis ka na magag kami. Nare-remember ko, tapos masakit yun kasi pag nakuha sa part na naka-miniskirt ka, diba? But, so marami yun, I don't remember anymore how many, basta alam ko,
madalas ba yung disperse?
Madalas yung disperse. It's so common, no? Parang, sumali ka sa rally, handa kang, magaling kang tumakbo. Kaya tumago, o kaya, whatever. But what I remember was the longest march I did was from UP. Ano ko it was, I forget, oh my God. But this is the one in the books. Yung nag-march mula sa UP, pumasok sa Plaza Miranda, bla bla, lumabas ng Avenida, nag-Caloocan, bla bla, tapos, ano yun, may flood. Tapos talaga hanggang dito yung nagmamarcha kayo.
Nagmamarcha kayo sa baha.
Sa baha, no? Doon nagtanong muna ako na. Pero yun, so madalas yung gano'n na rain and storm, hinihinda, nangyari. Eventually, syempre, sisilin kami at So, marami kami, I forget which, pero walang activity, I think, na hindi ako nakasali. No? Marching to Major was a common. Marching to Plaza Manana. Mga die-in na ginagawa namin yun. Pagka pinapalagilan kami sa Plaza Miranda, halimbawa, pinapalagilan kami ng police, no? Gagawin namin, magdadain kami. Nakaligaran na kayo. Para kung nagkalimpikan nga, parang sila maybe would catch it na sila yung mga. Pero, truth of the matter is, the ranks were not so clean. Of course, may pillboxes.
May pillboxes?
Of course. I mean, why not? Why not? So, we're not exactly clean, no? Parang, yeah, there was British brutality, yes. But, some comrades, of course, were armed. Armed in the sense of pillboxes, pero may mga pillboxes. It was so common anyway.
Pero yung halimbawa, mag-mobilize mo, how do you go about the organizing? Gaano katagal? Kung mamarch ka ng Mindoro, gaano katagal yung
I'm not in that, kasi writers kami, no? Pero, na-remember ko, mabilis lang, there's a lot of meetings sa Binsasol, meeting. Kami kasi parang special group kami, the writers kami, so we help in the program, pero hindi kami nagpo-command. Wala kami sa command, kasi, whatever you say, may hierarchy pa din talaga of skills, if you will, di ba? Parang, writer siya, no? Kumamarch siya, kapag hindi ka command, ang mga command ng KN, siyempre, KNMU, yung mga labor, no? And of course, the youth sector. Ang pinakalakas talaga ng youth. And I belong, ako no, kumbaga. Diba? Kasi, kaya lang ang aking sektor ay sa mga Manila. Pero ako. Well, I don't know na, hindi na ko compare. Pero I remember noon, the youth sector was the student sector. Really called the shots in a way with the workers. Pero without the youth sector, walang ganun. The first quarter would not have happened. It's impossible to talk of first quarters for or Mindoro or what stands for without the students. Diyan talaga yun. Ang bulto nun. At saka ang bulto nun, hindi of course. Pero, kung yung masa talaga, yun.
Nabanggit nyo kanina yung teatro. How creative were the protests in Mindoro?
Very. Kung nakikita mo ngayon, nagawa na yung marami dyan.
Ano po yung mga...
Yung mga caricature, yung some effigies, ganyan. Mahilig tayo sa mga kalbaryo. I don't know now, looking back, parang hilig namin sa kalbaryo. Yung laging... Ang napansin ko, looking back now, yung... Masyado talaga yung undertone or pagpapatina ng religious, yung mga kalbaryo, crucifixion, yun. So, marami tayong gano'n. Ano pa ba? Street checker, that really started with that. Kaya nga minsan lang naman, naisip ko, as I grew up, in 50s, parang naisip ko, gusto ko nagawa na namin ng bago. Siguro nag-iiba naman, pero actually, when you think about it, hindi nag-iba. In 68 when I came into activism, all price high. Parang nagbago lang ang mga players mo in terms of personality kasi, and 68, because all price high, rise of basic commodities, land good for, human rights, killing. Parang walang bagong issue. Siguro nagbabago nga lang yung facts and figures, yung mga players, pero feeling ko, basic issues pa rin. Wala nagbago. Baka may conflict na, at least ngayon may cart na, people are talking about closing down program. Pero, wala akong nakikita ng bago. Kaya parang minsan, may certain, cliche ako nakikita dito sa mga issues. Parang, God, I started, kare-regla ko lang. Tapos na ako mag-menopause. Diba? Yung pa rin, diba? I mean, you tend to look also at your life cycle. And life cycle and your life as an activist. So, it means, what does it mean? Kulang pa. for all the efforts, parang kulang talaga. Kasi yung I used to say, yung sa ibang bansa ito, yung pinipili ka sa bigas, hayop na. Sa Latin America, sa Central America, papilayan mo yan, yung ng bigas, at nagrarayot ka. Kaya ito lang haba ng piso natin. I don't know how much. But the other thing is, that's on the one side. The other side is, people are tired of it as well. Seemingly, people are also getting tired of marching in the streets. But the other thing is, how effective is it?
Nung ginagawa niyo noon,
Kasi mahal magparali, ha?
70s, may ganyan ba? May...
Syempre hindi.
Pakiramdam.
Bago yan eh. I mean, this was new. All those were doing were new. They were pioneering.
Ano yung
Bago
mga
yan.
naaalala niyo yung pinaka-violent, pinaka-confrontational na mga mobilization na sa mga...
Ayun eh, syempre, yung Mindiola, yung papasukin ng... That classic papasukin ng Malacanang.
You were
Yeah.
there. Ano yung pakiramdam mo?
No,
Anong nangyayari? Bakit nauwi sa pasukin natin ang Malacanang?
I think many things. Passion of the moment. Well, it's part of that activism, you know. You know, when you're an activist and you're a strategist, you have to keep pushing the edge. Kumbaga noon lang nakapasok ka dito. Dapat, you know, that's part of the strategy. That's, and I push na the edge. That's one, I suppose. I suppose. From another perspective, I suppose some people, I don't know if I can say I'm part of that, some people wanted to weaken, hasten the revolutionary fervor. And they're moving on to Malacanang, that's really attacking the center of power. Siguro kasama na yung hormones. Ano ba yan? Walang takot, wala kang feeling na takot. I didn't feel any fear, even when I was arrested. Wala ako ha. And I suppose it goes for many of us. Parang isa sa kanta ka. Parang hindi mo niisip. Parang feeling mo, gano'n yun. Parang yun. You leave it or you leave it. You leave it as in L-I or you leave it L-E-A. Ano lang naman ang choice mo? And then I suppose decided to leave the moment. Of course, marami siyempre unsaid, kasi sabi ko lang, maganda sana talaga yung, collective story. Like, from one analysis, I'd say na the party was thinking that it was the time to take power. Or it was agitating the people. Pero naman talaga yan. I mean, you can't have a revolutionary period without having a strategy. Sure. Parang ganun naman. Whether it is correct or not, that's another story. Diba? Iba yun eh. Pero kung ako tanongin mo, at that time, yeah, I mean, people knew that there was going to be a dictatorship.
So, itong first quarters na, na-arrest ka kayo? Or later?
No. I wasn't arrested. Alam mo yung mga arrest na may payor. I was arrested in 76 when I was alone lang.
Pero itong mga...
Wala. Magaling ako tumakbo. Kahit na naka-ano kami, naka-minister. Si Nelo Sancho nga naka-minister, tsaka naka-stockings pa yung fishnet.
How true? Kasi sa ibang na kausap namin, nalang daw, may mga taktika kung baga na pag sa tingin nila mainit yung mga pulis, mas pinapauna yung mga babae dun sa...
I mean, it's part of the stereotype, of course, no? Yung kasi pag babae, mas malambot, mas hindi atakin. Well, yeah. Yes and no, because hindi rin totoo na na-spare yung mga babae. That's not quite true, ha? Marami din ang pupukpuk na babae. Okay? Yun yung softening the ground. Kailangan ng babae, negotiate nung may kasama laging babae. Hanggang ngayon naman, ginagawa yan eh. Sa mga, di ba, negotiation, kailangan may babae. Ano ba ang tingin ko doon? May good, may bad. Tactically, yes, you can soften the confrontation. Pero strategically, parang nalala mo talaga yung babae. Ganun lang talaga. Pero, I think now, I think without having to go to that tactic or strategy na gawin ng babae, I think women have proven themselves. Kahit hindi na paunahan sa mga massage. Marami naman nagkukumando ng mga babae noon.
Second.
Oo. Marami babae nagkukumando. Kaya lang, syempre, ang visible talaga yung mga lalaki. Pero, a lot of the work, they need to be doing work. So, being done by women as well. And I think that's the reason why this lopsided power relationship cannot rise in feminism. Well, on the one hand, yung workforces ng mga babae, yung mga lalaki na kapatid lang. So, may picture.
Nabanggit ko kanina, may media during the mga mobilizations. Kasi ngayon, may impression na nag-play out sa media yung mga nag-mobilize. May ganun bang consciousness mo? May media, mas
Well, at least gusto mga sinasamahan kung hindi. In fact, marami mga picture na hindi mo lang nakinukunan ka ng media, hindi mo gulpi kayo, ilawin, hindi mo na. I don't know now. I don't go to Benny Cortez rallies. One, well, I have a pacemaker. I have half a machine wire. That's half a machine wire. But second, tingin ko, there are other ways to it. So I don't know whether people are playing.
Pero by the time, alam yung may media, but there's no consciousness.
Parang bahala ka sa buhay. Parang, when you're young, tingin ko hindi pa yun. At saka very real kasi nun. It was so real yung dictatorship. Dito, iba hindi na compare, no? Pero, it's not even a question ng alin ba mas violent. Pero, kung violence na, sobrang violent. Pero on the other hand, you hear also comrades say na yung violence na yun, ina-up din namin yung content.
Ano yung end view nyo sa pagpak ng tama?
Kaya the revolution of speech. Kasi,
You were conscious na pwede may mga masakripisyo ng buhay?
Hindi ako. Later on. That was part of my misgivings, eventually. The movement is so highly compartmentalized up to now, I think. So you don't know many things. It's only when you get into the circle of things or people that you begin to understand. A lot of this came about much later. Pero at the height, of course, parang mayupi ka lang Ito yung moment mo You are in that moment. You don't have the time to think. So very real talaga no yung... Very real talaga doon yung... you can be killed. Hindi ko alam kasi hindi na ako gano'n sumasama sa masama. Pero hindi ko alam kung mayroong sense ngayon. Pareho namin noon na pag sumama ka sa rally, kasi hindi mo kalaboso pa talaga, hindi ko makita. Very real, no? Very real. Very real. Hindi pa kayo natakot? Hindi. Parang, I suppose when you're young, naniniwala kasi ako. Hindi, naniniwala ako. When I was in prison, I was tortured. Parang, siyempre later on, you have your moments of silence. Pero, I suppose, ang isang kaibigan ng aming generation, which I don't know if yung activist, if Mendiola is a narrative or a symbolism, Mendiola tempered us. Yung tinatawag sa activism, yung tempering, you have a sense of yourself. You have a sense of what you can do, what you are expected, and what you're expected to say. It's very real. And that you don't give up. Yung tempering, and studying. Nag-aaral kami. As in, sometimes I think I wonder, have people read Karl Marx, the Capital, or Lenin? To be able to say that you believe in one, you must have read. Reading one is a must. And parang, when you say theory, basta ka, praxis, nagamit mo. Of course, maraming lessons, maraming pagkakamali. Pero, tingin ko, my generation was fortunate. Talagang kami tempered kami. Because of the time, not that we're more special than you or the world. I think may call yung time to be tempered. You have to be self-sacrificing. Kasi may sense ka. I'm talking on two levels. In fact, I'm talking less as an activist, but more as a member of the party. Parang you're expected to be disciplined, to study. Studying was, pero merong downside dyan. Kasi ang downside dyan, maraming sa generation ko, hindi naniwala talaga sa what was called bourgeois education. Marami sa amin talaga hindi care about grades. Hindi ka naman, ang paaralan ay ang kalsada, ang pagawaan, factory, ang bukid, ang work. In my generation, those were the school.
Doon ba napunta nung bumaba yung martial law? Kasi you were talking about pre-martial.
Nag-UG ako.
And then, during the time na martial law, hindi na naging option na kahit ano, subukan na mag-mobilize sa mga. Were there any discussion?
Mahirap po sagutin, Joellen, because I was so underground. I was so underground. I was
Talagang nasa
cut off. So marami ako nag-iisip during the height of martial law. But I was so underground. I joined a collective which was so high up. Talagang we had to become. So short stint yung aking activism about crime. Very, very intense. So intense na parang we were packing up, decades and decades of experiences in so short a time. So short a time. Kasi, di ba, by 86, Marcos is born.
Yung 68 to 72, yung transition ba na yun mabilis? Madali, I mean, para sa inyo?
Madali at saka dramatic. Marami kaming, may mga like, you haven't heard of him, pero gusto be a professor, ka-collective namin sa, he was doing the thing we were doing, so pumupunta siya sa, his name is Valerio Nufente, student from London, don't remember him anymore, he's a professor sa Filipino department. Part noon, paksa din siya, sa isang task niya was to go to Fortune Cigarettes dun sa Marikina. Yung katagit ka ng bridge, tapos yung Fortune, hindi siya tayo. And he disappeared, nawala siya, hindi siya nawala. He was found, rather, in his box. Patay. Natay siya, supposedly Balgary, of course, in old places, in Sherman, he wasn't burglarized. Kasi nung pinasok namin yung box niya, nandun ang impact ng mga. So he was killed for, siguro may istiya, nalaman na tumutulong siya sa mga manggagawa, siguro siya. So,
sa mga binangitan ko.
Parang, mawala, makaibigan na wala, kasi hindi na nakita.
So para sa inyo, wala nang ibang option at that time. I mean,
At that point, for me, kahit may option, parang I'm not going to be a sitting duck in UP. No way not. Tsaka yun nga, nakakatawa kasi, I suppose may mga naiwan sa UP. Well, I was engaged then to Ed. He was going underground, of course. Tsaka, parang naisip ko, ang gagawin ko ba kung martial law? The UP, when we entered UP September 21, yung buong faculty center boarded up with Lawani. What do you do? Ang gawin mo? Antayin mo na magpupunta yung UP? Parang hindi ata choice yun. Parang for me and my colleagues, and that was a stupid choice. It's not even a choice. Kasi hindi mo naman alam kung kailan magbubukas yung universidad. Diba? Tapos inuhuli na kayo. Diba? Wala nang radio, wala nang television. Kasi na, I was already involved. So parang, show ko ba nung yung lumutang? Hindi eh. Parang it wasn't even a choice. To be very honest, parang, teka, papainom ba ako? Hindi, parang, we were French. Kung ano yung bit-bit mo sa bag mo yun. Masyado eh. So parang bit-bit mo yun. Wala yung magpapaalam kay nanay, tatay, walang gawin. Mapaalam man na, buka ko ng aking pang-overnight, parang gano'n. Parang, kung ano yun, alis ka. Well, remember, I'm a party member. The options were very close to me. Now, of course, there were people na may mga considerations Sa akin siguro walang consideration, wala naman akong pamilya. May boyfriend din na sila single. Best friends, good friends, involved. Ano pa, source namin, hindi ba naman?
And then sa pag-undergrounding, sabi niya na huli ko yung NM76. And what happened after that? Bumalik ulit kayo lang.
I had to live two lives. Well, the prison experience was bad. But the one thing you should do actually is to ask what prison experience was torture. Many people don't know nothing about torture. I don't want to talk about my torture, but I was sexually tortured. Okay. So a lot of us, a lot of women were sexually tortured. That's the form of torture they do to women. Pero I think the imprisonment, dalawa effects ng imprisonment. Either magpahinga sandali, kung talaga magalit ka, lalo. Ako nagalit lalo.
Gano'n pa tayo yung patagal na police?
Sandali lang ako, mga 6 months pa rin komunikado ko. Tapos, when I...
Ba't kayo na-release?
Siyempre, intervention palakasan pa rin. No. Kailangan ka na general. Kasi, yeah, of course. Mas maraming mga release yung dahil kakilala sa kanya. Pero, there was also a rule then that if a husband and wife were arrested and they have a child, and I have a child, one should be released and that's the month. So, ginamit namin yun. Connection. Wala pa namang mga TFD mo eh. Wala pang task force detainees. Wala pang mga human rights group noon. You know? So, nothing on the ground. Sister Mariani, who died, wasn't even prominent. Wala talaga parang...
Connection.
Ha? Connection. But still, it took them 5 months para papianuhin ako. Every day, ang sinisigaw ko doon, papianuhin niyo. Kasi pag hindi ka pumapiano, ibig sabihin wala ka sa detention. Correct? You can be made to disappear. Yun lang yung greatest prayer mo. So every day, sinisigaw ko, papiano niyo ako. Sa lahat ng mga hindi ko magpilit ako kung yan. So pinapiano ako 6 months. And then I was temporary release. Pero wala nag-try. Nag-try. Till 86.
Ano yung charge niya sa akin?
Siyempre, ito pang sa rebellion. Dalawang beses ako kami kakatayin sa subversion. Ito yung celebrated case ng 18. 100 plus kami sa kanilang case. This is the empty karagatan ng India. Tapos, wala lang, parang si Cory na, parang wala na. Pero it was your child. 76, 86, we were going to the trial. But the other thing too is that kahit na-release ka nun, may tinatawag na temporary release. Every week, you have to report. And you have to say sa kanang pupunta. The other thing too, in my case, as in the case of many, we were surveilled. Kahit kung ma-release ka niyo, nabalik ako sa iyo, yun naman, nandun sila. Nung nasa teritoryo ko na, tapos sinusunod ako, kung kaputak na yun, umalis ko dito. Siyempre, matapang na ako. But I think, it's hard not to be courageous. Kasi, talo kayo. Talo, ano yung pikong talo lang yan eh. Sabi nga, pagka na-preso ka no, unahan lang yan. Unahan lang yan. Nasa cyber ka, kailangan umuna ka na. Kumbaga sa boxing, umuna ka na tumira. Pag nauna sila, down. I learned that. So ano yun, huwag ka magtatagal. Kasi siya, sa tubo, kasi yan. Ilis ka na yun eh. Para, gising ka sa tubo. Tapos bago kasi gawan mo, una ka na sila. Ano na yun? So you learn a lot. You learn a lot. What I'm saying is, you learn a lot of competencies, if you will, also, in survival. Because I've lost a lot of friends. In many ways, we're lucky, no? It was a lot. Maybe disappeared. Marami na akong generation na tayo na, So, Mendiola was a symbol for me only insofar as yung above ground. The number of years that I spent underground was more substantial. So, wala na dibo. So, Mendiola for me is more a metaphor. It's a starting point ng this. Parang, it was a baptism of fire. In a way, parang Mendiola was a training ground for harder things. Mahirap naman tayo maganda ito. you live your petty bush, but if you live your other politics. When marami tayong nag-romanticize, yung generation, going to the mountains, as the chichicha ganyan. Pero it's okay, it's hard, right? Yeah.
So, nung nandun kayo, having nag-hihirap at ginabalikan niyo ba yung, mabuti pa na nasa Mindoro tayo. Medyo lang si Bugina.
Parang, ang feeling ko, it was a natural process ko ba? Doon patuloy. Oo, sa akin, parang dun yun. Parang, medyo lakas. Wala lang, parang yun yung training ground mo. Parang, ito yung paghahanda, yung scaling your phone, paglabugbog ka, nahuli ka, hindi ka kakanta. Parang ganon. Kaya pag nahuli ka, dapat ko rin yun, hindi ka kakanta. Ang lubog yun. Ay, patayin ka. Parang you don't give up something. You don't. Yeah. So, palagay ko yun yung nasabi kong temperament. Parang, it's like we were training for something bigger. I mean, whether it was good or bad, that's not for me to say. That's history. That's for history to say. Pero the fact of, it's my generation, suffered through a lot. A lot of us would say, no, we lost our childhood in that way. Kasi pagpasok pa lang namin ng UP, ano na yun? Meron ng barikada, di ba? Nagbarikada ng UP. Nagmamanufacture ng Molotov bombs sa loob, etc. etc. Your professor was also your comrade. So talaga wala naman kaming, hindi mo namin naranasan ngayon yung pag-gimmick. Ano naman kami gimmick? Ang gimmick namin, Molotov bomb, rally, ibang-iba. No? Do you want to, parang kung talagang mo, do I want to relive Mendiola? Yeah. And do better. And straighten out certain things that were mistakes. Pagkakamali. Maraming pagkakamali. Tsaka, hindi exactly, don't romanticize too much. Kasi, noon, mga aktivista, may dala ng mga bato. Kasi, alam mo, may police brutality eh. So, nakapagbaon ko na ng bato yun. Bakit hindi nagbabaon? Kasi sinabihan ako ng angkat ng police. Sige, pagka nagbaon ka at nahuli ka, bugbog ka. Hindi syempre, huwag ka na magbaon. Parang pwede ka pa mag-appeal, di ba? Innocent. Pero noon talaga, hindi yan, don't romanticize too much na parang you're all innocent bystanders. Just, you're not blaming our guys. It's not true. Students were fighting back. We had pillboxes and stones and whatever. I mean, short of, wala kami gun, of course.
Speaking of bystanders, anong reaction ng mga tao nung nandito sila?
Parang sympathetic ng tao. Ngayon, di ba kasi parang ngayon yung people just watch, di ba? Noon, nare-remember ko parang bigla may susunod na, sasama. Ewan ko, out of curiosity. Pero bigla sila sasama. Tapos walang nag-jeer. Tama na kayo, walang ganon. Wala kang ma-remember anyway. Baka swerte ko lang talaga where saan ako naman. Pero wala kaming naririnig na gano'n. Well, remember also that in a way, yun yung kumbaga sa isang, kung sa sine, yun yung ulang putahe yun. So people were ready to accept it or ready to look at it with sympathy. Eh ngayon, di ba, mula nung hanggang ngayon, nag-rally pa rin, di ba, tapos hirap ang buhay, di ba? But the other thing too, is the global situation has changed. There are very few revolutions now. And even socialist revolutions have to be examined. So like China, everybody was Mao too. I mean, come on, let's give me a break. China is not a communist or socialist country. Give me a break. The RAs would fight with me. But I'd say it's not anymore socialist or communist the way it was before. No, it's not. It's not even benevolent. Human rights, di ba? So, parang nag-iba rin kasi ang point. So, tingin ko hindi lang kung ano sa natin, ano yung Mendiola noon at Mendiola ngayon, as a metaphor, hindi lang dapat Mendiola. Ano rin yung kabuo niya, no? Remember, we didn't have globalization the way it is now, ano? Though, I mean, I think it's mainly the term that has changed because what is globalization but imperialism? ano ba naman yung globalisasyon? Binigyan na namin, that's imperialism. No? Except that imperialism is not anymore ruled by its superpowers. I mean, it has its own satellites, or ano, diba? And you know, Europe is now one, and now North America is trying to be one, and Asia is trying to be one. Diba? So yun ang bago. But generally, the essence of it is imperialism. Same yun, ano nagbago. So, in fact, Mindiola as a metaphor hasn't changed also. So, tingin ko nga, minsan yung okay pa ba na Mindiola pa rin ang metaphor natin for our revolutionary parents, or are there other ways in which to locate yung gano'n? Ako minsan naniniwala ako tingin ko in this community there are probably 5,000 units here. Some of the intellectuals here, Paulo Quinteros is my neighbor, Joel Navido is my neighbor, may Marilyn Manila, no, she's speaking, etc. I'd like to see na itong community ko na-agitate. Kami mismo mag-arali kami within our community pagka sinasalbay kami ng NHA o ng gobyerno, kami malakot. Pero hindi, parang hindi ko na-feel yung parang gusto ko mangyari, mag-create tayo ng Mindiola in each community. I think that's the real Mindiola, when you can agitate your own community to do something. Kasi iba na hindi, unless a miracle happens, a revolution will not happen in the next 5 years. Believe me. There will be no revolution in the Philippines that will topple the state in the next 5 years. No.
Pero yung generation, pag kinausap niyo ngayon, mga nasa leadership, mga nag-mobilize, may, parang nostalgic sila sa ganun mga nangyari. And the generation largely credited for establishing Mindiola as a place to be.
Nostalgic din ako. Pero at the same time, I'm thinking, it's not all nostalgia. I think the nostalgia has to be made productive for the here and now. So tingin ko nga, there are very few people who would risk their lives to get Mindiola. Kasi may police brutality. But I think we can create little Mindiolas in our communities. Nostalgic ako, of course, I look back. Reminis ako, yun nga, the fact that you heard me earlier, parang everything was new, parang lahat bago. Parang you can experiment, nothing could go wrong. Kasi experimental na. Nothing could go wrong. Ngayon, kung baga sa recipe, nagawa na yun, tapos gagawin mo ngayon, either magaling na, yung embellish mo na siya, i-recreate mo na, but you cannot keep on doing the same thing. You have to recreate it, and refurbish it, and parang redevelop it according to the time. At tingin ko, dahil na may tingin ako na hindi mananalo ang revolution in the next 5 years, hanggang sa miracle happen. Ay, hindi masyadong bilit sa mga, hindi niwalang siya sa lilaw. Tingin ko, then you create little Mindiolas. Kasi ngayon pag-legislative advocacy and governance. Diba? Oh, even the CPP, they're sitting in peace negotiation. They're in the house. They're in the So tingin ko nagbago din yung strategy. Noon talaga siguro education and then going to the youth. A kind of parang modeling siguro nga, parang yung generation namin nagmo-model kami. Tapos, kasi nagmo-model din kami kasi we were made to expect that there will be a strategic stalemate by year so and so. Yung strategic stalemate.
Pero sa impression ng mga tao na walang nagkamali, walang mali sa mga naunang steps.
Meron, marami kaming mali. Bawa, romanticism of the masses. I think we tended to romanticize the masses. Yes, the masses are the poor country. But remember, they're not homogeneous. They're very heterogeneous. Depende rin kung anong mag-reach mo. Okay? At depende kung paano nag-stay. You know, I don't want to sound like a typical community, but never, but this is not the place where I'm going. There are. I mean, everybody's bullshitting everyone. Kung sinabi namin na wala kaming masas, like, wala kaming masas.
Pero yun nga,
nostalgic.
Sa mga ganun, parang na ngayon, kukunin mo yung Mindiola to say na ito ito yung ginawa namin. And pag ginamit mo, pag dineploy mo yung metaphor na yun, o yung visual na yun, parang napakover na kung ano.
Hindi. Sorry, whoever said that among equally sa akin, ang Mindiola was my...
Parang yung isa nga, ang sabi niya, ang Mindiola pula talaga yan.
Oh, gusto siya. Wala akong question sa pagkakula niya bilang kasaysayan. Pero tingin ko, sa pagkapulang yun, marami ding marugdog na nangyari na dapat tingnan din ng leksyon. Kasi ang Mindiola, I think, is a metaphor for all the other things that have happened. I think it would be wrong also to say Mindiola because remember during the time, it was also the height of the organizing of the People's Army. They weren't in Mindiola. I mean, people must realize that Mindiola was only one part of this army. The 70s was the height of the New People's Army. It was the heyday of the armed strength. And people must not forget. I think to think of Mindiola is, very urban, very middle class. Because in fact, and I've been to the Bundes, okay? I've been where I could say now, boy, there were many nameless people. You know, in fact, there are many poignant stories to tell. Halimbawa, we keep talking about Mindiola. You know, I've been to a place where a peasant, armed soldier, when I asked, imperialist mo lang yan, pero tanong ko doon sa mapa, nasa dito ng US, hindi alam ang US. I mean, I think that's a sad story, no? Pero, let's not forget that Mindiola stood for a certain group of people.
Na-fetishize na ba siya?
Tingin ko, yeah, I still believe that Mindiola is sacred to the memory, the legacy of the 60s. And of course, the first quarters ko, just the bloody years, of course. And also parang yun yung height kasi ng confrontation with the state, first quarters ko. That, you ride the tank, you get a tank into Malacanang, diba? That's very symbolic, as well as very physical. Pero I think one must not forget that other struggles were going on in other areas. And, alam mo, depende. Kasi dahil nga ako nag-Mindiola only for a while, and then nawala na ako. Siguro after that, ang perspektibo ko doon na sa Eugene. Hindi ko na nakikita, parang nag-fade ang Mindiola. Kasi on day-to-day struggle, it was a life or death. Anytime, in the 24 hours, you can be killed, you can be arrested, you can be tortured. Parang, it's so different. Iba yun. Now, but also remember when martial law was declared, unang nagrarally. In fact, ang unang rally nangyari was the spontaneous, or call it petty bourgeois rally. Yung yellow, yung mga babae, nung namatay si Aquino. Si Ninoy, the first mobilization ever at the height of martial law when no one could, were the women. Mostly, of course, middle class, but I was there already. Pero ang punto ko, it was in fact the women who also shattered silence that was Mindiola after declaration of martial law. I think people tend to masyadong mamayokit yun. Mindiola was a part of that pre-72. But during the 72, Mindiola was a dream. Parang siya, parang no man's land. You could not. Possible. Because also, my generation were doing other things. They were underground. Some were already armed, some were already dead. So tingin ko yung Mindiola na yan has to be also very specific, to the history. Yes, I agree. Oo. Birthing talaga siya. Parang baptism of fire for anyone of my generation. Talaga mag-rush with blood, with sweat, tears, talaga. You remember all the shoes, pagtakbo mo, very dramatic siya, Pero I also want to be more fair to the other kinds of people who were doing other things. I mean, not that one is a higher struggle than this, but tingin ko mas democratic yung tingin mo yun na, may nagrarally, may nagbubuhay sa buhay, pero mukhang hindi nagbubuhay sa buhay. So, for your effect. Eh, doon talaga, pinapatay din ng mga tao. I mean, you know, tsaka wala ka ng mga option na pagkatapos ng rally, uwi ka. Wala kang option na gano'n. Pag nag-underground, kung underground ka, wala yung, sandali lang ako, pauwi mo na sa nanay ko, namimiss ko nanay ko, lang gano'n. Pag sandali lang, hindi ako pwedeng mahuli, hindi ako pwedeng coach, lang gano'n. Ibang-iba ang buhay na nasa loob ng tulisan. Ngayon na, talagang life and death.
Nung mawala si Marcos, balik ni Marshall o bagong ganyan, ano yung expectations niya?
Ako, good story, a lot. Kasi babae, siyempre, pwede ba student ko, di ba? Pero, remember that when the ascension of power of Cory was accompanied by the splitting of the left. So sa akin, I was more concerned with that than with Cory's ascension. I was more concerned with that, the splintering, the factionalism, the away, because at the end of the day, diba, nagpalit-palit sila, nandiyan pa rin sila, of course, ganyan lang ang pangalan, diba? But at the end of the day, splinter pa rin. Yeah?
May particular event na nangyari, diba, 1 year after the Mindoro Massacre. Paano ito dinate
Na,
ng organized?
Mindoro Massacre. At a cynical perspective, cynical, was the left side. It really is an example of fascism in the Fascism. Na ang Estado ay di makatao at siya ay lahat. At sa kanyang laban siya ang gawa, sa magsasaka. You know, that's the cynical part. That's the cynical part. And of course, you can use it for revolutionary again. Search. But you know, the other part of me, mas less ideologue, if you will, would say, anong kapalit ng mga binisip? Kasi hindi lang naman yun eh, marami. Ano yung kapalit ng binisip? Kasi naghiwalay din lang tayo. Away tayo. Hindi lang yun, nagpapatayan tayo. Diba? Yun eh. Parang sa akin, mayroong kahulugan yun kung nagkakaisa rin tayo sa pagtingin sa mga bagay-bagay. Kasi, pero kung iba-iba rin yung pagtingin natin yun, sino ba nalanalo? Ano tayo? I think yan yung legacy ng kapatid. That, despite Mindoro using that as a movie, Mindoro did not wasn't drenched in blood enough for us to remember it and therefore reunite. Kasi kung enough yun, yung bloodshed yun, yung violence and state fascism, dapat mas makintal yun, mas vivid sa memory yun. Rather than, to me, some petty paper politics. Take in the sense na, mode of production debates. You know, you need statistics, you know. Then you have reinvent. And there are no odds real. Sino bang mayroong hawak ng odds? So sa akin, Mendiola, to me, mas magiging makintal siya sa isip kung napainega natin yan, mga... Kasi ito yung resulta, yung fervor, yung passion. Pero hindi kaya ng Mendiola balik tayo. Sana maganda sana kung yung Mendiola, kung gano'n nga siya kapining at gano'n ka nostalgic para sa mga kasama, dapat siya magbalik sa atin together. Hindi nga eh, yung napakaliteral nga eh, sa rally, pag yung isa nasa plaza, kung na yung sorry, wala. Diba? Kung totoo na makintal ang Mendiola sa ating kasaysayan ng pagkikibaka at pagkakaisa, hindi pwede maliit. Hindi natin hindi parang tuhugin yung totoo. Pero tingin ko medyo cynical ako. Kasi tingin ko nalalagay, hindi na yung para sa tao. Tingin ko, ideology, should serve people. Ideology para sa tao. Hindi yung baliktad. Tao para sa ideology. Baliktad din. Kasi tingin ko, kung ito yung need ng tao, ano mga tawag dyan, ism na yan, if it works for the people, then it works for the people. The formulas do not work in that sense. guide nga lang siya. Sa tingin ko, ang Loyola Community only be much more meaningful pag pagpawa natin. Kasi yun yung nagdala sa atin papunta din sa kung man tayo dumating. At yun din dapat ang balikan natin para makita natin saan ba tayo talaga papunta. Sa tingin ko, nagkakalabuan. Nalabo na ako ng sa inyo doon.
Yung impressions na ngayon, lalo na ngayon, sabi mo, sa mga nakikita niyo yung protesta, parang, ginawa na namin ito dati, tapos ganito pa rin, ginagawa pa. Eventually, pag napagod ng mga tao sa kauulit ng ginagawa sa mundo, they abandon it.
Oh yeah, I mean, as a matter of fact, tingin ko, nagbabago
Pag lumipas na
na.
yung generasyon,
Oh, well, malapit na kami. Marami sa amin. Remember, the world has changed. Technology has changed. Example. The other day lang, itong nasa vlog ko, yung chef na pinakain ng shabu. Ano yun? Sa kala. Pinakain siya ng shabu. Nanahin siya ng police. So, kumalit siya sa vlog ko. There you are, solved na. Solved in the sense na investigation, kinuha yung mga police, etc. Saan nagsimula yun? Sa vlog. People just kept in vlog and sending. So, of course, it's a slice of the pie. But what I'm saying is, changes can happen not necessarily by randomly. Technology. How do people organize that? Technology. Di ba, paano ba nangyari ang EDSA 1? Pag I wasn't there. Di ba texting? Text tama ba yun? Wala namang organizing na nangyari na, kasi yung sweeping yun di ba meron tawag sa organizing yung sweeping.
Pero may ilang nag-claim na yung EDSA 1, EDSA 2, hindi raw naging posible kung hindi dahil sa effort ng pag-organisa.
No. Let me go a bit earlier. Muna, yung pag-alis ni Marcos while with a little help from the US, hindi naman talaga mangyayari yung mga pag-organisa. At kaliwa. Hindi naman mangyayari yung EDSA 1 na, nung November. Pero, when we lay claim to any success, dapat din matiin din tayong mag-aral ng leksyon. Example, without having to believe in it. The fact is, when the left, and back then, boycotted the election 86, that spelled a lot. That actually spelled a whole many more years. That was a big mistake. Whoever says na hindi yan siya mistake is crazy. That's a mistake. And yet, I thought, at the time, I wasn't for it. But I was a good soldier. I know for a fact that in Broca, there were also questions about the boycott, that he was a good soldier. But what I'm saying is, we do things because we believe supposedly in the wisdom of those who pero hindi din totoo yun. Wala namang infallible Saka pag sinabi natin na, lahat naman yan, para naman tayo hindi tayo tao, incremental lahat. Lahat ang nangyayari ngayon, may pinanggalingan yun. At kasama sa pinanggalingan yun, yung pag-organisa. Sin duda, walang duda, yun talaga yun. Pero to say na lahat ng successes galing sa atin, hindi din totoo yun. Hindi din totoo. Kasi marami din bagay, halimbawa, hindi kaliwa or CPP or SOCDEM or for that matter any organization na organization it was really spontaneous. Although I will hasten to say now whether it is revolution or not is another issue, no? But definitely that kind of an action wasn't a left instigated. It was spontaneous. Pero totoo na meron ng bunga. Marinig mo nga ngayon iba-ibang sektor, iba-ibang pagkana. Bawa, ngayon, ilang kids sabay yung napalis si Hera? Dos, di ba? Ngayon meron mga seksyon na nagsasabi na mali yun. Na yung EDSA, that EDSA wasn't really EDSA. parang it was the revolt of the upper and middle class. Kasi, di ba, may ganun analysis na ayaw na si, kasi hindi nakauwi.
Kaya nga sa ngayon pinag-aaralan namin yung Angola, parang ano ba, yung mga kinakommemorate na bagay sa lugar mismo. Nangyari din yung EDSA Trust, diba? Yung mga grupong pro-era, gumawa din ng pagkilos. At nagko-commemorate din sila ng EDSA Trust. So parang nagkakaroon na ng iba-ibang, yun nga yung isa sa mga dynamics na tinitinda namin. Iba-ibang claims
Diba?
sa memory.
May claiming claiming siya. Ito ako, may quote yan. Ang isang problema dyan, tingin ko, isang problema talaga ito is general. Yung pag-claim ng mga bagay-bagay. Ako naniniwala kasi kung totoong makatao tayo, pati yung pag-claim na yun dapat nakapag-usapan. Ano ba totoo? Kasi sino ba? Kasi tingin ko para tayo yung negosyante na parang, ay ako na ulit yan ha, parang gano'n.
Kaya nire-register itong mga issue na ito. Kasi na-encounter ko sa mga narrative.
Oo, narinig ko yung isa kayo, isa kayo. You know, there's, again, I think there's a number of people from third world who receive in different ways din, na pagkakamali yung total sistema. Pagkakamali yung similar na sa kore. Kaya, when you actually look, yung mga nagpupunta na minsan kasama rin sila. Diba? Parang, alam mo, yung nangyayari kasi yung historical, yung passion, yung sumusunod ka lang. Kasi, parang yung mag-call, here, kuha ka muna natin. Dito, dito ka lalagay ka. Diba parang, yun yung isang ko. Ang isang problema talaga, tingin ko hindi nagsuma ang buong kaliwa. And that means all color. Sa tingin ko, dapat nagsuma tayo ng karanasan right after that. And be humble kasi, kailan tayo dito? The arrogance of our ideologies. The arrogance of our ideologies. Kasi sa akin, naging Marxista din, Leninista, even Maoista. I think it was serving the purpose. When it wasn't serving the purpose, wala akong problema. Parang hindi ko ikamamatay na i-shed ko one by two of the essence. Parang, kasi hindi siya nag-work. Diba? Parang, yun yung isang tingin ko dapat. Kasi siya kaya sa atin talaga, ayaw ko din na i-overdo natin yun. I-overdo natin yung Jonah in that sense. I said, I think I've explained it. Okay, yun, tapos sa akin talaga, sa akin, ang Jonah magiging sa akin, mas magiging ang meaning, magkita-kita tayo dito, ayusin yung nangyari sa akin. Kasi tingin ko rin, nakakaya din sa bagong henerasyon.
Yun nga yung, kasi...
Parang, hello, nayabang natin, hindi nga natin maisabihin natin.
Recently, yung sa May 1, parang...
Kaya, isa pa rin pala yan, kaya daw sumasali na. Ayoko malagay doon sa dilemma. Halimbawa, tuwing March, example lang, sorry for capital. Nag-organize ang mga RAs. Maling Gabriela yan, di ba? Nag-organize yung non-RAs. Sabihin yan, yung sama-sama na. O, 2 March yan ang kababalitan. At dahil mas kinalang ang gab, ako, of the very side, no? Talagang, alam mo, parang hindi mo mag-international Women's Day, no? Ang feeling ko, hindi rin fair dun sa kabila. Kasi actually, malaki din sila. Kakuha niyo yun, yung... Parang... yung mga sumama doon, tingin ko, hindi nga alam yung split eh. Wala lang, gusto lang na mag-celebrate. Nagkataon yung pala ng organisasyon. Nandun sa isang lugar. Di ba? But it's so unfair, why are we splitting people? Hindi ako sumama. Kasi parang feeling ko... Gabriela ako dati eh. And while I do have issues with the past, let's accept it. Gabriela is there. It's there. It's there, the point. Diba? Tapos, gawa na meron ng kaibigan, sa ngayon na, parang ang dami na naman ng criticism. Pero tingin ko, Diyos ko, kung tayo, rari yun, hindi tayo makaasa. It's one event, international women's day, magkakaibang akin. Diyos ko, isa lang naman si panawagan, pababayin si Gloria. Wala naman si pababayin si Gloria, yung basic cost, human rights. Bakit ba nahiwa-hiwala? Di ba? Mas malaking process sana, mas ano. Tingin ko, we lack for all the lessons of Mendiola, because Mendiola was about negotiation. Mendiola, one part of Mendiola was about negotiation. Kasi, bawal, di ba? Negotiate, push ka. Hanggang dito lang, hindi sir, o di pa, Hindi learn that. Tapos hindi kayo pwede mag-stay dito lang ganito. Sir, konti pa, Diba? So I think one of the key skills with learning Mendiola is negotiation. Was united from patience and discipline, of course. Of course, that discipline was always contextualized by, what I call my term, evolutionary need. Evolutionary need. Kaya para masama daw ko na parang, yun ang science skill, I think, that Mendiola is the ability and the power to negotiate and to push the lives. Yung mga ini-impose ang estado ng mga linya na dito lang kayo, ganito oras na, na-push natin. Bakit hindi natin magamit sa sarili natin rango? Why can't we push our patients? Kaya tingin ko yung nostalgia for Mendiola without discernment. Mag-discern tayo na marami sa kasama mali. Marami leksyon hindi natin. Yun na, yung mga EDSA na. Nakakatawa nga kasi EDSA tayo ng EDSA. Kahirap ng buhay nga. Di ba, I started this sharing natin with parang wala namang bago. Yung issue namin, yung 6 days. Yung pa rin, di ba? Ang nabago lang naman yung mga tao. In fact, it's getting worse. Hindi ko alam kung people are getting proud or this is part of the globalization process. Kasi pag sinabi na ng news, CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, ABS, GMM, pag sinabi lahat na tumataas talaga ang presyo ng langis. Diba? Parang, diba yun? Sinisip ko din talaga mayroon pakailang dito globalization. Pero tingin ko, kailangan tingnan natin ang Mendiola, this is for the younger generation. Tingnan natin ang Mendiola for what it was, what it symbolizes. But, let's not be tied down. Let's not be tied down by its memory and history. Kasi tingin ko, technology,
Provided other things.
Bawa, you can hold teleconferencing, di ba? Pwede kayong webcasting. Pwede na kayong maglagay na isang malaking telon. Makita mo nagrarally sa ibang bansa. Di ba? And there's so many other exciting things. So to me, Mendiola should be kept as a memory. And a memory with lesson. With lesson. At saka, ewan ko kung dahil sa tanda na lang po. Tingin ko, bagay ng mga bata, kabataan, mag-romanticize about change and revolution. Pero let's grow out of that. Kailangan tumanda rin tayo mula sa... Kasi tumanda kami kung yung romanticism na, wow, ang papakit sa mundo. Ang pinakamataas na ang taas ng pangihibaka. Diyos ko niyo, wow, papakit sa mundo. Ay, siya ko na kamalirap na gawin. Hindi basta-basta siya. Diyos ko. Alam lang namin parang gano'n, di ba? It's nice to romanticize. But after a while, you have to wake up and say it's not working or it's working. Kasi otherwise, katigasan na lang talaga ng ulo yun. Ewan ko kung anong Mendiola sa inyo ngayon. Ano bang Mendiola? Aba, ako mas interested ngayon. Ano ang Mendiola sa younger generation? Kasi sa amin, alam ko eh. Pero I'd be interested to hear anong Mendiola sa
Ito nga ang strange eh. Kasi pag kinausap ang mga kami pababa, ang palaging sinasabi ay isa-cite ng mga nagawa dati sa Mendiola na parang ownership by proxy, if one can say it. Na parang, ito kasi mga ginawa nila, so we're carrying on the legacy ng bago.
Hindi, dito yan. This is saying, I think, yung sa writing kasi, that you're only good as your last story, or, I belong to the UP Writers Club, 70s. And we used to say, write or perish. Parang wala kang karapatan maging member ng UP Writers Club pag hindi ka nagsusulat. Hindi ka manunulat kung wala kang nasulat. As of, whatever. So you cannot live on your past laurels, I think. And to me, revolution is saying, you're only as good as, parang ganito. When I used to be a firm believer of Marxism, Leninism, Mao Zedong thought, diba? Because you could see, from feudal China, his poverty was so embedded, diba? Tapos na-uplift niya nila. At least, nakita mo, makain sila, mas pupano. Pero boy, katigasan lang ulo ko, sinabi kong socialista pa ng China. Kagabuhan na yun. Ito nangyari sa city, ay, mayor. You don't have to be a genius to know what's going on. Diba? The fact that 65 or even going to 80,000 of its people died in that landslide nila, no? And many of them are poor people. And yet, there's so much money in their development aid na hindi nila mo panino pa ilan. Correct. Nakukuha niyo yun. Parang, wow man, there is a problem somewhere here. Diba? But on the one hand, this is like to demean what they've done to its people. Marami, of course. I mean, you have to take a picture of their chance at China, diba? But if anyone tells me now China is a communist, a socialist country, working for one of its people, you're bullshitting me. You're bullshitting me. I mean, look at this turning that we have. The other thing too about Mendiola is very interesting. I can't explain it large, expanded. Pero when Eastern Europe cracked down, I think Mendiola took on also a little bit of a different coloring. Kasi diba, to a large degree, maraming tinignan leksyon ang kinisahan mula sa Europa, sa China, sa tingin ko nung nag-collapse talaga, maraming lessons learned. Now, when de-Stalinization, if anyone tells me that Stalin is still relevant to our evolution, again, you're bullshitting me. But there was a time that Stalin was part of that iconic images. But things have changed. Still, well, hindi dapat ang Mendiola. There were successes. People can look up to generational gains. Pero tingin ko, the young have to create their own Mendiolas. Ano yung problema natin? Baka namilinis tayo, yung imagination. Kaya ako sa akin, ang Mendiola, kung ito maging Mendiola yung saan ko. Pagka talagang sobrang na, whatever, pollution or what. The fact na pinaligiran ako ng malls, di ba? Dati wala na lahat ng tubig, lahat ng basura, na gano'n. Parang yung social services. And if you can create a little Mendiola here, where people will fight for their rights, for social services, for good governance, yun po, tapos, yun nga, I really hope part of the thing that you can do as younger generation could be, kasi nahihirapan siguro kami look. Siguro din kami duwag ko ng ganyan. So marami talagang masasabi.
Actually, yun yung susunod ko sana na hindi kaya yung apprehension ng mga sumunod is rooted nga dun sa limited din yung na-access nilang
knowledge. Alam mo, isang difficulty ko, kaya ako may pagtingin talaga, dapat may isang, and maybe third year ko na, may isang kuya ko. We can actually, parang focus group discussion, bring together certain people that can speak freely, and even anonymously. And we talk really what really happened in the raw. Kasi tingin ko yan yung, ako na-recruit ako, na half-blind. Hindi ko alam na-recruit na ako. Pero at least inaral ko. May time kasi para mag-aral, mag-suri na yan. Ako meron suspesya ngayon, marami na-recruit sa Pilisan. Hindi alam ko, suspesya ko lang ang traffic.
At sa observation din namin, kahit yung mga pumupunta sa Venezuela, nabanggit nyo kasi kanina nung nagsisimula tayo sa mahal magparali. And kung mahal magparali, ito sa amin, mga ilang protesta na yung kinover namin at ginapirate sa Venezuela, may kita mo na may rent crowd, rent a crowd na effort kumbaga. Parang makikita mo yung mga sumasali. Alam mo, hindi naman nila alam yung issue. Pero nandun lang.
Ako,
And-
alam ko yan. Supposedly, hindi sa rango ng pag-isibo. Halimbawa, yung kay GMA, rent a crowd talaga yan. Ano talaga? Ano ba yan? Pero meron din mas kuya. Rent a crowd.
Sa tingin namin, pero kasi yung mga tao, kinakausap rin kasi namin yung mga tao sa Mindiola mismo. Yung mga taga doon. And sinasabi nila, may tinuturo silang lugar sa Manila, for example, kung saan doon usually nanggagaling yung kinukuhang tumatao. sa
Part ito
Mindoro.
nung hinid ng part na siguro ito ng pagiging first quarter store mo.
Gusto ko itanong, may ganun ba? No?
Noon, pihira noon. Unang-una, wala akong alam na nare-renta kami. Kasi ang lakas talaga ng mga workers, mga student. Tapos yun, ang UP yung nakuklose mo eh. Ngayon, di mo na nakuklose ang UP, di ba? Noon talaga pag rally, close ang UP, bahala ka. Sama mo teacher na. Hindi ko na nakikita ngayon. Okay. PCC noon, ganun din. Tapos natin rally, rally. So parang hindi mo na kailangan mag-rent ng crowd. But the other thing too, and I think ito yung sa my imagination tells me, wala akong pruebang solid. Because it was very new. People were curious. So they go. You don't even have to pay them. Kasama sila kasi curious sila. Ano ba itong mga to?
May sense of adventure, you know.
Diba? Your curiosity is, diba? Parang curious ka. Ay, sasama ako dyan, diba? Tambay ka, diba? O, grabe. Nung naman, very, alam mo na, yung kakainin ka ng mga tao sa daan. Abtang ka, oo.
Ginagawa sa inyo.
Hindi marami. Pero bawa, tubig. Wala namang bottled water, no? Pero yun, makikinom ka. Iihi ka sa tabi-tabi, gano'n. So parang, hindi ko ma-imagine na kung may nagre-renta man, parang desperate na yun. Kasi yun talaga, even from mere curiosity, you'd go. Kasi makukuryoso ko. But other thing too, mahirap mag-rent nun kung ang yun nga, sasabi ko na, there was a period kasi na grabe ang flooding sa Central Luzon. I forgot which year ito. Yun nga, nagkaroon nga. Medyo kung magre-renta, hindi na siya sasama maski, Diyos ko magkano na. Kahit nabigyan mo siguro na 100 piso yung nagmamarcha ng lubog, medyo mahirap na yun. Kaya ibig sabihin, kailangan medyo kadre ka na nun para gawin mo yun. Ano? So medyo mahirap. Pangalawa, hindi ganun kayaman ang kilusan nun. Okay? Bakit? Wala mga sponsors, kumbaga. May maraming sponsor. Diyos ko, magkano ba ang CDF ng mga party list groups? Come on. That's 70 million, baby. Whatever you say. That's 70 million. Diba? Wala kami sponsor nun, kumbaga. Parang ngayon, ang dami ng pwedeng pagkuhanan yan. Wala talaga nun, parang sa'yo, yun yung kayo. Diba? Pag nagtibigista ka nun, talagang allowance mo. Share mo kayo. Hindi ko sinasabing napakagalingan, pero talaga parang ang memory ko noon was lahat self-sacrifice. Pero yung self-sacrifice na parang wala ang kinikinting, parang saya-saya mo. So parang nakashare ka. Parang saya-saya mo talaga. Parang yung, awan ko kung may meaning pa doon sa, pero yung bukal talaga sa loob mo. Wala kang iniisip na strategy and tactic. Pakialam namin sa strategy and tactic. Gusto lang namin, gawin yung gusto namin. Ito yung tama. Pero yeah, like you, I've heard a number of stories about that. Para ako lang siguro dahil ako galing doon. Parang ang sakit, ano, parang heavy gun for you. Kasi ibig sabihin, pag-parent ka na yung crowd. May problema tayo. And maybe, hindi lang yun. Maybe it's already telling us, baka nga hindi lang rally ang kaya-hindi. Ano ang punto ko? Mahal magparali. I'm telling you. Kasi binabasin niyo yung mga tao, di ba? Lolo Urban po, binabasin niyo yan. Tapos dinadala mo yan ulit. Pinapakain mo yan na mula sa point of departure nila, may pagkain yan. Tapos, yun nga, mayroon yung naka-ready ng pagkain sa mismo rally. Tapos may contingency kasi kanyan, may security kanyan, Tapos, alam mo yung mga FG na, so, mahal din, Libo yan. Ilang araw na ginagawa. So, magparali. So, to have it means may sources. Ang problema, I don't want to be a schooler. Pero marami ko alam na istorya. Marami ko alam na istorya, lalo na nung may ku.
The recent ones.
Oh yeah, I mean not just this one, pero 206 na yun. Yung una ng ku. Mahirap lang maging squealer or maging ikaw yung the storyteller of bad stories. Pero yun, I mean, money were flowing from sources. I think, sa akin ganito okay lang na kumuha ng pera. Huwag ka lang magbibenta ng isa. Parang may nag-o-offer, wala ka binibenta, kunin mo. Ito lang, sure, pera naman ng tao yun. Diba? Sa kaduluduluhan yung galing din yan sa kabandayan. Pero ang punto ko, I think where I will have a problem kung kasama nun yung pagbabago-bago ng stance. Parang, it has become a politics of convenience. Wala ko may problema. Pero yung pagkuha ng pera, sure, why not? I mean, kailangan ng pera. Yung nagbibigay sa'yo, no? Basta malinaw, no strings attached. Pero yun nga ang takot ko. Kung hindi ka tempered sa struggle, hindi na malinaw sa'yo para saan ko. Yung sectarianism mas na ito, baka hindi mo namin alam kung ano yung binibenta mo sa pagtanggap. Diba? Yung nakakatakot money per se is not bad. I think people should have money. I think organizations must have money. It's how you use that and how you take it. Yun yung problema. Hindi ako magmamalis, hindi kailangan ng pera. Bakit ba hindi? Pero tingin ko dapat malinaw kung gagamitin mo yung pera yun para mag-rent ka na ng crowd mo, may problema. Kung gagamitin mo yun to provide doon sa magrarally na hindi ninako, para sila ay mapangalagaan ng seguridad, etc. yun. Pangalawa, actually may problem ako. In a way, yung bringing children.
Nakikita nga rin ang...
Bakit? Ako, kaya kang mag-asawa, galing naman sa kulisa. Pero I never had the heart na gamitin ko na ako. Even, propaganda. Parang, they have their own lives. Sila yung buhay. Sila magdidefend. Kung maiintindihan nila, yun. Pero kung 5-year-old, sinawa niya, para lamang kay Gloria, what does the kid know? Come on, let's not do this. Because, tingin ko may gamitan. Ayaw ko na yung utilitarian politics. Hindi ako naniniwala. Kasi, kung ang politika mo yung utilitarian, then let's forget about Mandela. Kasi yung symbolism ng politika na matiim at malalim. Yung alam mo, pwede ko mamatay ko, alam mo, pwede mabalian sa wala, etc. Pero yun nga pero kung nawala na yung signification na sa'yo, ako talaga may kasi they're children. Tapos pagka namatayan, kaya mo ba ibalik? Kahit sabi mo, kaya mo i-propaganda yan? Kaya mo ba ibalik mo ba yan? Kasi kahit sinong partido o biliya, walang karapatan na kumitil ng buhay ng walang rason. No one. No one has the right to put anyone, any life on me. Galing ako dyan nakita ko kung I know comrades ko, lalo na yung mga urban operative. 24 oras pa pala sa linya ka ng buhay. It's not easy. Kaya parang dali-dali ngayon, pag kayo mo, pasok pa sa school. Leave it there. You see for yourself. Hindi ka po yun.
Kasi para sa kanila.
I've seen a lot of
Yun yung bumibenta sa media. Eh.
Tingnan mo. Sabi ko,
Parang mediatized, sabi nga ng iba yung protest ngayon.
ano?
Mediatized. Kung baga, pag hindi na-cover ng media, hindi ka nag-exist. So kung aangulo ka ng...
Totoo yan. Yun nga, yung example ko kanina sa Women's Day, di ba? Pareho naman nagrally. Hindi naman ako ba yung isa kasi, bakit? Mas maraming media ties yung talagang naka ano na yun, naka-schedule ko ba yan? Alas 3, alas 2. Sad. Pero you know, that's part of the globalized world, the globalized media. But it also tells us that opinions are from the media. Ganun siguro nga. Kasi nung unang, remember, di ba, nag-martial law ka. So for long time, there was no media to speak of. Just Leo. At again, we were not used to media. We were used to Kulyeto galing sa underground, Patagitago, Pasa, yung pasapasa mga Kulyeto. There was no media to speak of in that sense. Kaya siguro, hindi rin namin na-compare ang contrast. Kasi wala kami sa context kung gano'n na kailangan pag-dito sa media. Wala eh. Tapos nung nag-Cory naman, di ba, Cory was the media. Diba? So everybody was focused naman on Cory. Kasi, you know, parang from fascism to democracy, di ba? So, hindi ko nga alam mo siya yan, naging media sabi din yung kids. Generally speaking. Naging media sabi siya. And yes, you're right. Ako marami akong kwento dyan. Halimbawa, I will not mention organization. Yung task force, yung si Nicole, yung ginahasa mo yung music. There was an agreement na lahat ng pwersa magsasama-sama for the Nicole case. So, Gabriela, RA, Benji, leaders, personalities. So, we're going to march along Rojas Boulevard. Tapos, ang usapan, walang organizational banner. Task Force Nicole lang. Wala yung gano'n. Parang Task Force Nicole is the campaign. Gano'n. Walang t-shirt na gano'n. Wala anything. Basta Task Force, tapos marcha lang. Ang harap lang sa media, si ganyan. Wala nang iba. Walang mga police. Ito, basta, para na, walang agawan. Yan. Ito yung media. Wala agawan sa media. O, sa mga. Ano daw ba sa newspaper? Yung babaeng isa naka dark glasses. Ang ginawa ng media, ng photographer, Lenosa, dito sa kanyang glasses, Gabriela. Tapos task force niya, March 22. Pero yung mukha niya, yung kanyang glasses. Umanga daw yung ibang kasama. Ganun gano'n, sabi naman daw mo nakasuot. Tapos sa rally, kinunan ako. Ganun ka-conscious lang ba? Na naiisip na yung maliit na name na yun. Sa dark glasses. Eh di, drama pa nga, no? Di ba? Naka-close up siya, no? Tapos, nakalagay dyan sa mata niya. Tapos, nakala-imagine mo, no? Ang drama, no? Oh. Yeah. If you want to argue, pwede nga sabihin, ano ba? Pagkatapos ng rally, lumapit siya sa photographer. Pero, of course, you have to take with a grain of salt, di ba? You have to take what you do. So, yun. So, yeah. So, well, kung gano'n nga, Joel, lalong dapat pag-isipan kung ano ba ang ibig sabihin talaga ng media. Kasi, kung gano'n, hindi masama maging media sabi, pero media sabi, para iparating yun sa isang demokratik ng paraan.
Actually, yan nga, itong susunod na question. Kasi nabanggit mo ang banner. Pag tinignan mo ngayon ang rally sa Mindoro, nakupuno lang ng karatula ng mga pangalan. Hindi mo alam exactly kung ano yung panawagan.
Yes. Totoo yun. Kaya nga, mayroon na akong, ewan ko kung ako lang ito, baka, pero mayroon na rin akong tingin nga na baka gano'n tingin na mga paramihin ko ng banner at palakihan ng kung sino yung o-organize.
Yeah.
Somebody was, tingin ko hindi lang generational issue ko. Tingin ko meron akong, hindi ko sasabihin problema, concerns. Mga concern na kung gusto natin tingnan ng malalim at totoo. Totoo na. At kung ang ibig sabihin ng Mindiola, dapat tingnan nyo. Tapos kung ang Mindiola ay patalbugan naman, hindi yan ang Mindiola ko eh. Hindi yan ang Mindiola. Iba ang iba sa akin yung Mindiola. Kaya siguro may sense of alienation yun. Kasi di ba pagka gusto mo gawin isang bagay, ang tatay ko noon, mas ilang beses at heart attack na iba kong tatay ko tulad na Disney. Pero kahit ilang beses siya nag-heart attack, sarali siya. Kasi may meaning sa kanya. Kahit na yung lagi lang siya sinusulit sa heart center, nagkakali pa rin siya. Kasi may meaning sa kanya. Tingin ko yun yung kailangan din tingnan. Ano bang meaning? Bakit ba may mga tulad ko na nag-alienate? Bukod sa physical difficulty, I suppose, with age, no? Well, practical reason, I cannot go to rallies kasi pag binubog ako, hindi na kaya bayaran yung aking kalahating puso na makina. No? Pero tingin ko mayroong mas malalim na psychological dahilan. Baka marami. Ako tingin ko dapat maglini na tanong. Okay na yun. Wala na naman sabi sobra ko.
Okay.
Meron ka ba ba kami?
Last na lang. Yung sabi nyo, nagiging kompetensya, patalbugan ng Mindiola. Di ba parang, in a way, hindi kayo siya nakurap kasi binigyan ng avenue. Kaya nagbabanner na lang yung lahat kasi gusto nila may recall during election, di ba? Hindi siya kaya siya nakurap yung Mindiola nung democratize ng mga proseso na available nila.
Hindi naman. Tingin ko, democracy by itself is good. Parang ganito. Siguro, I don't know if this is a parallel story. When Eastern Europe cracked up, everybody said the failure of socialism. Ako tingin ko hindi. Socialism did not fail. The people that failed socialism. Because socialism by itself is a good vision. Hindi ka nag-fail. Nag-fail yung mga tao, paano na ginawakan, paano na in-perfect. Ganun din naman ang Mindiola. Tingin ko. Ngayon, kung patalbugan na lang, recall, ang isang problema, baka malabo na rin sa mga tao ano yung politika as in politics, election, government, as opposed to politics as in buhay. Sa akin, ang buhay is political. Everything we do, even what we drink, eat, and talk about, they're okay. Walang hindi political. So baka doon nagkagulo na rin, malabo na rin, through generations, ang politika. So halimbawa, in my time, while it may sound so rigid, bawal magmura na. The rules are quite rigid, I must say. Very rigid. Pero siguro may purpose yun. Hindi ka basta pwede mandigan. Pero magpapaalam ka naman sa buhay naman yun na yan. Hindi ka pwede maraming girlfriend, diba? Yung parang ganon. Hindi ka pwedeng lasinggero. Ganon. And you have to live it. Kasi paano ka magiging modelo ng masa? Kasi remember, yung generation yung parang model nga kami. Ito ang tunay na aktivista. Ito ang tunay na makabayan. You know, self-sacrificing. Kung kailangan magutom, gugutom ka. Kasi ganun talaga. Yung ganon. So, tingin ko nagbago na yan. Now, at the end of the day, remove all the embellishment of language and the rhetoric of politics. Values. Ano ba ang values ng mga tao? Kaya ba natin talagang mamuhay ng simple? Kaya ba natin iwanan talaga yung mga dapat iwanan? Kaya ba natin... Ako sa akin talaga yung pag-amin ng pagkakamali. Kasi tingin ko hindi pa umaamin ang usapan. Umamin siguro sila. Hindi sa pusat sila. Ganon. O nag-aminan sila. Pero tingin ko yung isang malalimang pag-amin sa sambayanan na ito kami nagkulang. Ito ang dapat natin gawin. I'm really asking for forgiveness. The excesses, we have had excesses. You know that. We've had excessive. We've killed our own children. We've killed our dreams. Actually, pinatay namin ng maraming bagay. Mga panaginip. Kasi nga, dahil nga, what do I mean by that? Kasi nga, tayo kami naghiwahiwalay. Kasi pag naghiwahiwalay, pag pinapatay mo ang isang magandang pangit na isa lang yun. Ang vision mo. Pero kung hati-hati mo yun, you cannot reach that vision. So, maraming lessons. Tingin ko, after Mendiola, you should have the lessons of Mendiola. Anong mga leksyon mo? And maybe even go beyond Mendiola and talk of Plaza Miranda. Kasi marami rin truth and untruth about Plaza Miranda. I'm sure marami na rin. Pero maraming bagay na napapag-usapan. Bago pa man mata. Ang isang challenge talaga, can the younger generation push the older generation to tell the story unedited and
censorship.
uncensored and say without having to harm anyone kasi pwede ka naman magkwento ng katotohanan na hindi tempo, hindi parang harm yung tao. Diba parang yung reflection, maging self-reflexive ka. Titingin mo talaga, sorry pero hindi tayo mananalo pag hindi tayo, alam mo totoo yun, pag hindi, may kasabihan, hindi tumilyon, totoo yun. Maniwala ka, nung bata ako, parang, pupu this, pero totoo yun. You can never make history when you don't even know what the history was. It can be no history. Okay. Sige, salamat.
Maraming salamat.